What's up, everyone, and welcome to Lightspeed Falcon, your source for pop culture news, reviews, and opinions. Today we're going to be talking about the future of Star Wars. So The Rise of Skywalker just came out, and a lot of people have been wondering what's going to be going on with the Star Wars franchise. Are we going to be getting more Skywalker saga movies, or is there another path that Disney's going to be looking into since that? A lot of people think that because Rise of Skywalker did so great at the box office, that Disney made a profit off of it. But in actuality, because of how dismal it really did at the box office compared to what they spent to make the product, really didn't end up making a profit for them. So let's dive in here and take a look at a couple news sources, and let's see what we can get into. So we're looking at the first one here from The Guardian, and it says, "Bye-bye box office. Has Disney really given up on Star Wars movies?" This is a question on all of our minds. What is going to be going on with the Star Wars franchise, right? Let's look down here a little bit. So we know that the whole Disney trilogy, from The Force Awakens to The Rise of Skywalker, and The Last Jedi and all that, that it really hasn't been the greatest experience for us Star Wars fans. There's been a lot of questions, a lot of controversial decisions made as far as where the franchise goes, and the character choices and the choices that the characters make and whatnot. So it's kind of left us, the Star Wars fans, kind of jaded in that opinion. So we see here, after 3 trilogies, at least 2 of them pretty flawed, and more than $10 billion taken at the global box office, right? $10 billion, right? Star Wars is going to be going on a little bit of a hiatus here. They're backing off from the Skywalker saga, and they're going to be going another direction. So a lot of you have been wanting, hey, is episode 10 coming, 11, 12, stuff like that, because I know there was a rumor of Rian Johnson doing his own spin-off and doing his own franchise type thing. But Bob Iger here at Disney has pump the brakes a little bit and backed everybody off that and said, hey, no, we're not going to be going in that direction. So the direction they may be going in is focusing on this Disney Plus a little bit, because we know the big success that we've had with the Mandalorian series on Disney Plus. That's definitely in their wheelhouse right now, things that they're wanting to look at. Mainly due to the success of this little guy right here, this little guy, Baby Yoda, right? Or the child, as he's called in the Mandalorian series, since we don't technically know his name, if he has a name, and still don't know the race of Yoda's species yet, what it is. But the number one thing you need to know about Disney, what really gets their gears going, is the almighty dollar, right? So that's the driving force, and right now, The Mandalorian being the number 1 streamed series on Disney Plus, beating everything that's on Netflix currently when it was rolling, and the internet sensation and social media sensation that is Baby Yoda definitely got Disney's attention, right? So they definitely got Disney's attention, and they definitely want to try and pursue that. And we know how Disney is, right? When they find something that's the cash cow, right? They do what? They milk it for all it's worth, right? Same thing they did with the whole Frozen series, right? When Frozen first came out, I mean, you had, the Let It Go was on the radio every single day. You couldn't get away from it, and it was actually kind of ridiculous how much Frozen merchandise there really was. But hey, that's today's Disney, right? It's the corporate giant that they are. So they find that cash cow, they're going to go ahead and go milk it and see what they can do about that and get as much as they can. So that's really the direction that we're going to be seeing Disney go in, is focusing more on that Mandalorian series and, releasing things on the Disney Plus. They really want to get their money's worth out of that Disney Plus that they just released in the fall. I know that one of the other questions, or something that had been brought up previously, was about this guy right here, Mr. Cassian Andor, right? If you all remember him from Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, right? So he was in there, And it looks like here that may be a series that may be coming to Disney Plus that they're going to be looking into, is going and exploring the backstory, I guess, of Cassian Andor and finding out, who he is, what he is, where he came from, and whatnot. But we're seeing here, guess who's not going to be attached with this? Mr. Lucas here. Big surprise, Disney. Big surprise that you're not including, the brainchild behind this whole Star Wars phenomenon, right? Disney has this thing, right, where they like to take things and take them away from people, right? If you allow them, and do whatever they want with them. We know that way back when, before the Harry Potter parks were built at Universal, even though WB released them, right? Disney had been working with J.K. Rowling for a while, trying to bring her Harry Potter to the Disney parks. But the way Disney does things is when they get a hold of a franchise, or when they get a hold of a property, they want total, control. They want total. They want to be able to put their own spin on it. They want to be able to do what they want with it, when they want with it, and stuff like that. And we know that didn't fly with J.K. Rowling, so and we see what happened. Where it ended up was at Universal, because she didn't want to give up that total control. Unlike Mr. Lucas here, right? He gave up that total control and gave everything Lucasfilm over to Disney, and they appointed Kathleen Kennedy, and we had the Disney franchise, the Disney saga, as I like to call it. Not really the next Star Wars trilogy, or the sequel trilogy. I like to call it the Disney trilogy, because it's just Disney's thing. So yeah, once again, they're not going to be bringing back George Lucas. He really didn't do much for the Disney trilogy. We did see him. There were some rumors about him being on the set for The Mandalorian and being a creative director and a creative aide for the Mandalorian series, which was awesome. I'm glad they brought him in. And we know that Kevin Feige and Jon Favreau did a wonderful job with the Mandalorian series. But unfortunately, Disney still doesn't want to admit that, hey, maybe we might need Mr. Lucas for this. Maybe we might need to, bring old daddy in to give us a hand with this. But they just want to do their own thing with it. So we're going to be exploring Cassian Andor's backstory here a little bit. I know this story is a little bit old. It was released on February 8th. It is the 13th at the time of the filming of this episode of Lightspeed Falcon, but it's still pretty interesting. I may be chastised a little bit for this, but I actually enjoyed the Rogue One movie. I actually really enjoyed that. I like the direction it went. I would have liked a little bit more Vader than at the end, but hey, it is what it is. And I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, but hey, it is what it is. I also really enjoyed Solo, A Star Wars Story. I get it. All right, I'm probably going to get flamed in the comments. I'm probably going to get, hate mail. How dare you, you say you like that movie. Hey, there weren't the greatest choices made, but I appreciate it, and I like it for what it was. I really enjoyed it. And that's even coming from a hardcore Star Wars fan as myself. I know we didn't need it. Just like technically we really didn't need the Disney saga, the Disney trilogy. We didn't need that, but I appreciate it, right? I appreciate it for what it was and whatnot and stuff. So, but yeah, so back to this Cassian Andor thing. We're probably going to be seeing him in a little bit more prequel to Rogue One, and when he meets Jyn Erso and all that stuff, and see who he is. I'd like to see a little bit more K2SO. I really enjoyed K2SO. I like Alan Tudyk. I like that matchup. He's just a great actor and whatnot. So pretty excited for this. I appreciate anything Star Wars. I may not always agree with the direction that the Star Wars is going in, but at the same time, I appreciate it because, hey, we're getting more Star Wars. It may not be the greatest. It may not be the most perfect. It may not harken back to and complement the original trilogy and the original genius of George Lucas. But hey, I appreciate it. And I'm always excited when I see new Star Wars stuff coming and whatnot. So I think that's going to do it for today. This is my first episode of Lightspeed Falcon. So I'm pretty excited about to get this going and bringing you guys more news, reviews, opinions for pop culture and nerd stuff. So stay tuned, guys. I'll be back with you pretty soon with some more news. Have a good one. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed my first video. Please subscribe and don't forget to hit the bell icon to stay up to date on everything. See you next time.